Hi class. Hi class. My name is Dr. Megan Horst, aka Professor Megan Horst, and you can call me Megan, Professor Horst, or any combination really of those. I use she, her, gender pronouns, and let's see, I want to tell you something interesting about myself. Well, one interesting thing is that I'm a daily bicycle commuter, and that bicycling is my main mode of transportation when in urban areas and also when in rural areas. Another, I guess, related fact about me or insight about me is that I have biked across some vast stretches of rural Oregon, and including this spring, I did a really cool ride called the Oregon Outback, which is a mainly gravel road from Klamath Falls up to the Dalles. So some insight into me. I will be co-instructing this upcoming Urban Rural Summer Ambassadors Institute, and I'll be representing the Portland State University side. At Portland State, I'm an assistant professor in urban studies and planning, and I have a PhD in planning. So that's sort of what I bring to the class. I want to tell you about my experiences in urban and rural communities. Well, I currently live, of course, in Portland, so Oregon's largest city, and you know, a medium-sized city as far as American cities go, and a small city in terms of international cities. And I live within a few miles of downtown in a pretty, in like a residential neighborhood district called Foster Powell. I have lived in other urban areas in my life in other parts of the world, including in the city Groningen in the Netherlands and in Odense in Denmark, both of them kind of smaller cities. And I grew up in the Milwaukee area of Wisconsin. And I lived in the city for a while and then also out in the suburbs. So I have kind of a lot of experience, I guess, with American and Northern European cities. I've lived in other ones, but I'll focus on those. But I've also lived in rural areas for parts of my life, including I was a Peace Corps volunteer in Honduras and lived in a very tiny little village, an aldea called Monte de la Virgen, Mountain of the Virgin. I think the population was probably less than 1,000 people, and there was no electricity. There was running water from the river, dirt roads, mainly trails basically between houses. So very rural experience. And I also was a park ranger at Lava Beds National Monument. So also quite a rural experience, although a very unique one, being in a national park. And I've lived in other more rural areas also in my life, often for shorter stints. Because of that, I do think that I have perhaps some more perspective than people who haven't had the opportunities I have had to live in both urban and rural areas. So I am leading this class in part because of my interest in urban and rural areas. I focus a lot on issues of land use and food systems and climate action. And all of those things are really interesting issues that affect urban and rural areas, and where urban and rural communities may have different perspectives on them, and et cetera. And those also will be 3 of our main topics for this class. So I'm pretty excited about that. And I'm just excited to learn more about rural Oregon. I am excited to learn more. So I'll be learning alongside with you. And then finally, we'll be focusing a lot on collaboration, and particularly in learning how to listen to other perspectives. And collaborative skills that I want to practice in class are, well, a big one is open-minded listening, open-minded questions, and empathic listening. These are skills that I know well intellectually, but I don't always do them personally because of habits of reactivity, of having my own strong opinions, and etc. So I'm going to be working alongside you to practice my empathic listening and open-ended questions, so I can really learn other people's perspectives and hear more about them. So that's it for my introduction, and I look forward to meeting all of you.